Hey everybody, welcome back to C.I.K Gaming. Slightly different video today. Um, I've been rocking Helldivers for a minute, but one of the friends I made through Helldivers, we were just talking, and we were talking about Ark, and he said he wanted to beat it. And I was like, sweet, man. So I kind of know how to do that, so I thought maybe I could assist him in his first game, like beating the island and seeing the story and all that cool stuff. So that's currently what we've been doing. This is not an Ark tutorial or anything. I've got stuff turned up so that I don't have to worry about it. It's just fun because we're gonna get into Ascended pretty soon. But before we get into Ascended, obviously we need to have beaten the original Ark, which is what we're doing. The whole point of this video today is a bit different, is to talk about something that I've recently been going through, which is not really a big deal. It's just a kind of a mental headspace that I've been in recently, and I have completely lost my main baryonyx. Anyways, I've been going through a tough time lately, and it's kind of like an existential, I don't know what to do, this and that, this and that, and this. Anyways, the whole point of what I've been going through is I've been having this, I don't even know what to call it. It's not panic. It's not some like super sad thing that I'm going through. It's just more like a depressing realization. It's not really depression, because depression, when you actually have it, you can't get angry. Like, you don't get angry, you don't get anything. You don't get mad. These are all of Justin's dinos that he brought from Ragnarok, which is pretty cool. I think it's really cool. You can tame dinos from another map and bring him to another one. That's my buddy right there. I just built this base as a starter base for us to have a little bit of stuff, a little bit to do. Grab my otter. John's mine. There he is. And what I've been battling with recently is this really weird headspace that I've been in, which is, I guess you could call it, maybe it's consistency? Maybe it's consistency in the way that you treat people, and the way that you live, and the way that you view everything in life. And what I mean by that is, quite literally, over the course of my life, I've seen, God, pretty much everybody act like a total horse's ass in one metric or another, in one way or another. Something has always happened to bring everybody into just a really dumb way of being. And I have no way to understand how people can be so inconsistent with the way that we live, and the way that we act, the way that we treat each other, and things like that. And what I mean by that, very specifically, is even though, like, let's just say you're having a bad day, why is it that nobody seems to be able to not be a dick to other people? Like, consistently over the course of a very long time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I totally understand every once in a while, letting it slip or getting upset, but then, like, instantly apologizing. But what about... There he is. Damn. I want to change his name or something. I couldn't see it when he was in there. Chad is my... Chad is my... He's my main baryonyx. And we bred all these, so... Okay, so I need to do all... And then tell this T-Rex to shut up. Nope, you are gonna stay here. And the problem that I'm dealing with right now is God dang it, is I'm a relatively consistent person when it comes to the way that I act, live, treat, kind of everything. But everybody around me seems to not be. And the problem that I've been having lately is really one of attempting to find kind of like inner peace and not feel like a total piece of shit all the time is the best way to put it. But the world treats me like shit all the time. All the time. And it's weird because over the course of my life, every single person that I've ever had dealings with has ultimately ended up treating me like I was nothing. And it's so consistent, in fact, that I can honestly say that at this point, every single person that I've ever known or met has either stabbed me in the back, treated me like shit for long periods of time, talked to me like I was nothing, shown their ass, been disrespectful, like you name it. All of those, everything and then some. And I don't know what it is about my personality that brings that out of people, or maybe it's just that I'm easy to talk to, and because I really do care, everybody is like, oh, we can vent on him, and it's like I'm like a safe space. I don't know what it is, but everything from, you know, not to mention in many other metrics of life, a lot of stuff. Oh my God, I lost one. I didn't even notice. Oh my God, I'm a failure. And you know, a lot of other metrics of life, this has been even more evident. Things that I had no business losing, you know, being taken from me, and you know, systems like that. And I really wish there was a better way to explain it, but basically, let's just start from the beginning in like a super like rapid fire series of things that sucked that should have affected me in a negative way, but ended up not necessarily. So, thing number one, mom dies at a young age. Okay, that should make me sad or emo child, whatever. I don't know what exactly it should have done, but it didn't. It just made me like understand and appreciate relationships and life by seeing death at a young age. So therefore, because I've already seen death at a young age, I know that everybody can die. So life is precious, and every word that we speak to one another should be listened to. We all have value, you know what I'm saying? When people talk to you, you should listen intently, because you don't know if you're ever going to have a conversation with them again. And then, obviously she dies, and then, I don't know if it's her Social Security or whatever, but basically, something happened, and I was able to it went to my dad, like this money every month getting loaded into something, but it was her Social Security, and apparently it was quite a big deal because after about, I think 4 years, he checked the balance and it was up to like $130,000. So that's 4 years, and I think it was another 8 years after that of collecting the money into a separate account, and my dad decided to let my stepmom have access to it because she was arguing and fighting with him to get access to it. So he finally caves and lets this woman who's not my mom have access to my dead mom's money, and she funds her life with that. She uses it to go party, to buy her cars, get her hair done, like just everything that, you know, people would do, like that, to who live in abundance. They do that. And then, so by the time I turn 18 and finally get access to the money, that, you know, $200,000, $300,000, possibly $400,000 that I'm supposed to get access to is like $12,000. And that was like the very first time that somebody stole all my money, messed up my whole future, you know what I mean? And not really, didn't really mess up my future, but it was like, if you have $400,000 and you turn 18 and you have good intentions and you don't have anything holding you down, what can you accomplish in life? And I could have accomplished a great deal, but, you know, people who just didn't love me, where I got access to money and were able to steal, literally able to steal a ridiculous amount from me and use it for their own. And which, that's fine in one aspect, but then the other part is that she treated me like complete dog shit my whole life. She talked down to me. She put my food in the trash. Like, I'd come home from soccer practice and dinner would be made, but mine would be in the trash can. Like, on purpose. Like, she would purposely, like, when everybody went to bed, because sometimes I would be training, You know, I'd be out. I'd leave soccer practice and I'd go to another. I'd go to the indoor training. I'm sorry, the indoor soccer place in my hometown, and I might be there practicing and training and playing until 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I'd come home and, you know, if it was always funny because if it was something that was good, like a good dinner, mine would be in the trash. And she always did that when my dad like went to bed, because he would just drink and then pass out. So she would take that opportunity to go ahead and put all of my food in the trash can, and I'd have to go in there and have to look and see what other, like, and leftovers would be, she'd pour leftovers on top of it and stuff like that, so I'd have to pick through it and see what was good to eat. And I never said anything because I was like, whatever, like, at the time I was dealing with a lot, you know, still grieving the death of my mom and just a lot of stuff going on, so I didn't really have good self-esteem, or I didn't know that was necessarily not normal. I was just like, oh, well, okay, I went with it, you know, kept a smile on my face and moved on. But you fast forward a little bit and she's treated me like crap, made it obvious that I'm not like her real son and I don't matter. Dad doesn't care about me, doesn't like to talk to me, hang out with me, anything. Never cares. Like, nobody, it's almost like a lack of, people don't care about me in a way that they can steal from me and be happy with that. And, you know, obviously later on, stepmom and dad get a divorce. She ruins his life, and then he does the only thing he can do, which is try to financially ruin mine. So that last year I worked with him, he ended up getting about the last year that I worked with him, he ended up getting about $160,000 from me in total. And that's as an adult with 2 children, you know. And I don't know, it's just like this reoccurring theme of everybody either treating me like shit or stealing shit from me. Friends backstabbing and betraying me, talking to me like I'm not, talking to me like I'm a nobody, like I'm nothing special, which is fine. I don't think that I'm anything special necessarily, and I usually let everybody get away with it. I'm just like, sure, yeah, I'll pray for you, you know. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to be angry. I'm not supposed to let those idiots just do what they do. Dang, that is a pretty stego. Level 60. I might come back and tame you later. But it's just so silly because it's been consistent, and you know, I mean, hell, even my wife, she went through a huge span of time where she was having a very, very hard time with her own life or whatever, and didn't understand what she had, and was very rude to me, very disrespectful, and I took it because at the time I had made vows. You know, this after we got married, of course, so I'm kind of locked into a way of acting and treating and living that makes God happy. So, and I mean, that went on for a super long time, not to mention every other relationship that you can imagine, from work to and even the last job, even the last owner of the job that I work at now, she ended up stealing a whole bunch of money from us. Not just me, but she treated a whole bunch of people like crap, and she stole a bunch of money from the employees the whole time. It's like just a never-ending cycle of, like, it doesn't matter what I do or what I put effort into. If I put effort to it, and if I put effort into it for someone else, somebody comes along and figures out a way to steal it. And that was really evident, like, in another example is like high school. In high school, I ran the soccer team. My soccer coach had never seen soccer before his first game. So I was the freshman varsity player, and also organized and ran the soccer team. Trained everybody on how to play who didn't know how to, and then organized everything. Like, I did everything. And then my senior year of 4 years of blood, sweat, and tears, effort unending. And there's only 2 seniors on the team, and the other one was not any good. he tried hard and we worked well together as a team, but he had no soccer skills whatsoever. He just tried hard. And they give the MVP my senior year as the star player, the assistant coach. You know, just any and everything you can think of that I was doing, I did. They give the MVP my senior year to a 7th grader because his dad contributed so much to the different programs that the school offered. And that's the reason I didn't. That was what ultimately led to me not going to try and play professionally. I played with professionals for a while, but in more of a, I played in the pro circuit, but it was like no like official games. Like I just played with the pro teams for a while, and I got my recognition. I got all these different people telling me that I'm great, I'm awesome, I should play pro, I should try this and this. But you know, you only have your spirit broken so many times before you kind of just give up on certain things. And I had my spirit broken, so I just kind of gave up. Then we get into the MMA side of life, and you know, I meet people in the gym and it's awesome, and then you know, I'm doing stuff for myself, I'm living the dream, I'm living the dream, I'm having fun, I'm doing everything my way, the way that I want to. It's going great, it's going awesome, it's amazing. End up meeting my wife from it. That looks like enough. And my coach ends up just completely betraying me. It turns into my biggest enemy in the gym. I don't know, man. It's weird. Like, there's always been that kind of mechanic. And it's like it doesn't matter what I do in life. Somebody is always going to be there to try to... It's like, I'll give you a good example. Today, on the way back from doing some business stuff, I was riding my bike, and a chihuahua runs out into the road trying to bite me. And I slow down, you know, to try to not run over it, and it jumps up to bite my foot, so I just, like, soccer kicked the absolute shit out of this little dog. And his little head, it makes this crazy sound, and, like, you know, completely freaks out. But at the same time, I'm like, that's what you get. Like, why am I the only person that seems to understand that if you do some stupid shit like that, somebody's gonna fuck you up? Like, I don't understand, you know. Like, why can't we be nice and gentle to children? Why can't we be nice to our spouses? Why can't we be nice to our friends and co-workers and treat everybody with respect and handle our own shit at home? Why is it that we never seem to be able to put anybody else's shit above our own? Like, why? What the crap? This is the wrong boat. Why can't we ever put anybody's stuff above our own? Like, why does everybody have to be so selfish? And this has always been the case. It's always been this way, and it's so frustrating because I seem to be utterly alone in this. Utterly alone in this consistency of being a good person. Almost like it's not in everybody's nature to be nice. It's almost like everybody's nature is to be this terrible, awful piece of shit all the time. And they have to really, like, we really struggle to just be nice and just love each other and just treat each other with respect and just have fun. Like, I don't know if it's because I have had such a violent life, or it's been, you know, because I experienced death at a young age, or I don't know. I don't know exactly what any of the mechanics are that make me just different when it comes to the way that I live and treat everybody and stuff. But I kind of wish sometimes I wasn't so alone in this. I'll give you a good example. Like, so why is it that most people have to, like, you know, the concept of, like, you don't know what you have until it's gone? Why is that even a thing? Why can't you just look and evaluate, like, the beauty of something and be like, oh, I should take care of this now? You know, I don't have to self-destruct this relationship and then find values. Like, why don't you just have the value when you first meet a person and think about it for a few minutes and understand kind of how you're supposed to act, how you're supposed to be, and how we're supposed to move through life. And then from that, just, you know, get better. Like, why do we have to go, why does everybody go so stupid all the time? And I guess that's for some reason, like, because I'm a YouTuber now and I'm having success and my subscriber count is growing and I'm getting feedback and people are commenting. And I'm doing something that's just for myself the way that I want to do, that I don't need any help with. It puts you, like, whenever you do that, you know, just talking for a few minutes on camera. It sounds silly, but I'm doing it for, well, my words after I'm dead are here. Like for my children and for my wife and stuff. Kind of like a video diary, I guess. And this isn't really a deep depth of thought video. This is just what I've been going through for a while now. And I figured I'd make a decent little video as I try to find a basilosaurus for me and Justin to run the water cave with. We may not even need it. These baryonyxes are so strong that I might be able to do it without it, but I would feel better on a basilosaurus so I don't have to worry about jellyfish and stuff. And yeah, it's just it's a very, like, right now I'm in a very depressing space because I sit back and I look at my life and all the people that I've helped and all the effort I've put into relationships and people and so on and so forth. And every single person, except for a couple acquaintances, have all treated me like shit. And in a level that there's no actual distinction between how this person's treated me bad versus this person's treated me bad versus this. It's all the same. Like, they've all treated, like, everybody has treated me like shit for extended periods of time. Treated me like I'm nothing. Treated me like that little chihuahua on the street today that got his head torn off. And people just don't, like, okay, so it's one thing to not know. Oh, well, he's really quite brutally savage. Maybe we shouldn't piss him off because maybe if he snaps, he kills everybody in a room. And the only reason he doesn't kill everybody in rooms is because he prayed a lot and he's basically turned a new leaf over on life, and he's been able to not kill people simply because he's, you know, now he trusts God with all of his issues, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Which is, like, accurately what happened. I was so violent before, and so I wasn't mean, but I was so ready to fight at all times. And how many people, like, that's the other thing too, I don't even want to talk about it because it doesn't make sense. If I say it out loud, it's like, you didn't really have that many fights, you didn't really hurt that many people, you didn't really beat down every single challenge you had over the course of like 4 years, you didn't really have, you know, contenders or aspiring opponents from prestigious schools that fund or fuel fighters into the UFC drop out of fights because they found out who you were. No, that didn't happen. That don't make sense. That's not possible. You're just a YouTuber, and that's not true. That doesn't happen to anybody. Well, you're right. It doesn't happen to just anybody, but it happens to people who put 1,000,000% effort into their life and into their training, bypassing everything else in the pursuit of greatness. And what do I have for it? It's another one of those depressing thoughts. It's like, what do I have for that? I mean, realistically, I can say this. I'm in the top 10% of all martial artists on the planet. Or at least I was. When it comes to MMA, let me put it that way. Top 10% MMA contenders in the world. I was UFC trained and ready for a minute. And what do I have to show for that? Like, I'm playing Ark right now. I got a cute otter with swimming goggles on his head, trying to find a virtual whale so we can beat a video game with a friend of mine. I should be filling out stadiums and contending for the title, talking shit, Conor McGregor style, and ranking in millions. But I mean, I don't want that, obviously. That's the point. It's one of the reasons it was actually quite easy for me to give up fighting, was because I realized that this is that depressing thing. When I was fighting, I realized that in life I've been pretty alone, and when I was fighting, the only people that I really found that I thought I could be friends with were other guys who were training in the gym or other fighters, other people who called to answer that, had that warrior spirit and had to answer the call in that gladiator 1v1 brutal blood thirsty combat. So within that, I realized that these are my friends. Oh God. Okay, thought that was a big whale. Whew. About crap myself. But so like in realizing that, I was like, well, shit. If all these guys are my friends or potential best friends, why am I fighting them? It's like the people who go, like the people in the MMA ring, the people in the MMA ring can beat every single person in the stadium. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the training they've been through, the skills they've developed, the toughness they have, nobody in a stadium can even come close to what most MMA fighters can do and deal with on a day-to-day basis. So it kind of became like those what's that Django Unchained fight system they called? Mandango fights or whatever, where they take two slaves and they make them fight to the death for no reason, just to entertain somebody. And that's when I lost that's when I started to kind of lose like my desire to be like, oh, I should really be the best MMA fighter that I can. I was like, well, no, what's the point? Like, I'm just beating up. And I also really hurt somebody one time too, which messed up a lot of how I it messed up my flow really bad. I broke somebody's bicep during training one time, a good friend of mine actually, in the gym, and I almost gave up fighting forever because of that. It was awful. God almighty, it was awful. Broke his bicep in half. He stood up and his arm was like 6 inches longer than it should have been. He's like screaming in absolute just pain, obviously. Oh God, it was terrible. And all that because I kind of listened to my coach and let my coach turn me into kind of a bloodthirsty monster, hurting people all the time. Any challenge to the gym I put down, didn't matter if they were 200 pounds bigger than me or they were an accomplished martial artist from another school or what. It didn't matter. If you came into the gym and you challenged us, I was going to mess you up. And it wasn't until after I really, really hurt somebody that I was like, oh, maybe there's more to life than this. And that really got me thinking about other stuff. And I started pushing myself differently in the MMA game. And that's kind of the reason that I became so good is I realized that I needed to be so good because I didn't want to accidentally hurt somebody ever again. So I needed to have perfect control, perfect technique, perfect strength, and also have kind of crazy work ethic when it comes to stuff. But I'm just sitting here like looking at my life, looking back. I'm very happy with my individual role through life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy. I've lived a fantastic life. I've always done or lived exceptionally. Not like exceptionally like I'm better than anybody else, but I've always done the absolute best that I can do. And anything that would have been hard or difficult, I've always taken the hard path, you know. I've never looked at something and be like, oh, this is too hard. I'm just gonna give up. Nope. Something that would be relatively easy, but also relatively immoral. Never done it. Never stolen from anybody. Never put somebody else down to lift myself up. Never felt like I needed to vent to anybody. And just like sitting back, I think I was playing Helldivers the other day, and somebody was very nice in game, and I was just thinking about it. I was thinking about it. I was like, why can't this happen in real life? Like, why can't you meet somebody and then they just treat you well? And when they go through something, they don't make it. It's not your fault that they're going through something. Like, he's having a hard day at work. That sucks. Come on, we can be there for each other. But that's not how it works, man. People love to just run with that shit and just treat each other like crap all the time. And the creepy part is it's so fucking consistent that I don't even know. I think it makes me insane that I'm not that way. You know what I mean? In my whole life, everybody's taught me that I'm in one form or another. Everybody's always told me and taught me and explain to me that I'm really just a sad piece of shit and I should just give up on life and go die somewhere. Either from the way that they treat me, the way they talk to me, the way they steal from me, the way they belittle me or don't listen to my words when I speak, especially about things that I know a great deal on. And I guess the best way to explain it is I'm to the point now. I'm kind of to the point now where I'm basically like, kind of fuck y'all. You know what I mean? Like I'm starting to get, in a way, I'm starting to go backwards to how I used to be as a man. Before I got married, before I became domesticated, before I got chilled out. Because I've been sweet, nice, kind, and innocent, and it's done nothing but bite me in the ass. Literally, the only people that treat me relatively well, or have always treated me like really good, are my children. And that's crazy to think. I mean, just to think about that for a minute, that's insane. Just to say that out loud. And I'm so thankful for it. I'm very, very thankful for it. We have a great relationship. They make me so proud and so happy all the time. Everything they do is so great and innocent and beautiful and awesome all at the same time. But it is one of those things where it's just like, you know, you take... Okay, there's probably a whale up here. That stressed me out. Okay, we're just going to go for it and not worry about it. I'm not even going to look down. I'm just going to drive across like nothing's happening. And that to me is really depressing. So basically the part is taking count of all that, dealing with the initial depression, which is that very few people like me, very few people have my, like, people like me because of what I do, what I do for them. Or what I like, a good example, my boss now, well, yeah, he likes me because I can do a couple people's job. And I never complain, I'm never late. I don't need days off. I handle my job well, and I move with grace, like through the day, and I make everybody else's day easier. So yeah, of course, why would you not love that in an employee, right? But he doesn't like me as a person, like at all, because we have we have different opinions of, like, for instance, what it means to be a man. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of it's pretty deep stuff, but we have very, very, very big differences about what it means to be a man, what it means to be happy, how we live our life, how we parent, things like that. It's all different. And that's a really big issue it's a surprisingly big issue for a lot of people, and I don't quite understand. I mean, I understand, but shit, at the same time, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, sorry that you're not the man that I am. Fuck, I can't help that. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to be a bitch so that we can fit in? Nah, I'm good. I'd rather make you mad by living than be like you. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even towards my boss, that's towards, like, people who hate me because try to fill in a reason, and they can't, because it's never anything that I've specifically done, because it sounds stupid, but I very specifically make sure that I don't, I never offend anybody. And the main reason is just because well, one, I don't want to, but the other one is, like, I look at everybody like we could be best friends. So why are we not? Why are we not best friends? Like, why are we not? Like, why are we not best friends? Why do we have to make shit so hard on each other? And I don't know. I wish things could be easier with people in life and the struggle of it, but I mean, I'll just be driving down the road and somebody will look at me and scream something mean. I'm like, what in the fuck makes you think that you can do that to me? Like, what is it that does that? Like, what mechanic What is the mechanic that lets somebody go, look down the damn road, see a guy, and just scream at him, call him a piece of like a crackhead or a piece of shit or whatever? Like, why is that okay? like what kind of society that's normal in? I mean, just think about it for a minute. Just see a random person you don't know and be like, "Fuck you." And not even like in that high school like kind of funny way. I mean like that anger, emotional outpouring. I mean like their voice cracks and like they're about to come over and try to fight you. Like, what is that? And the other thing is that the reason that I guess you could say the universe gives me such mixed results is because at the same time somebody will do that, another chick will ask me to sleep with her. Oh god, it's like this shit don't make no sense. Just leaves me confused and depressed because I don't understand what people are doing, what people are thinking. Meanwhile, me and my lot are great now, but hell, even my wife, hang on, let me flip the camera out for it. Even my wife doesn't escape this because we had a really rough. That's not even a fair way of saying it, but let's just say we had a rough 10 years before she finally understood that you can't just treat people like shit. I mean, like, what? 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 Why do we have that? It's like, I joke about this, but I joke around and I say, you know, it's about time for me to start a hardcore drug addiction so I can have that, so I can have that, that, woohoo, I beat drugs story. I've never had that. I don't understand. I smoke cigarettes because I like them. I don't understand the world anymore. I don't understand the world, so I'm just gonna play my little video games, go on my little rants. I am gonna start going back to my false prophet sniper section. That's what I got started with on YouTube and TikTok, and I did that because I don't feel qualified to be a disciple, or I'm definitely a disciple, but I don't feel qualified to speak to you guys about what it means to follow Christ or anything like that, like to share my experiences. But I would never tell you or try to preach to you, right? And that's because I've never felt qualified to. I don't feel like I know enough because I'm just a man. I mean, who am I to preach to another man the workings of God and the mechanics of it? I can't do that, bro. I don't know anything about. I know my own experiences and what I've seen, but I don't know enough about life to be able to tell you for sure this, and this. Some stuff I believe, but even that's just based on belief. Some evidence, but evidence isn't always enough for most people. So I don't know, man. I'm just... I'm not lost in the sense of like, I don't know what to do, I'm so sad. I'm not lost like that. But it's like, I really wish that I had a better understanding of I need more data on the vast majority of people and what's going on through their head, because I can only understand my perspective on it. Why is it so dark? Doesn't even scare me, it's just too dark. And I really wish I had a better idea and a better understanding about what it means, like, to just, like, how could I, let's just say I wanted to teach somebody how to not be a total piece of shit. Well, what's the answer to that? Because to me it seems so simple. It's just like, just don't be a piece of shit. I don't understand. Like, what is is there a class you have to take to be nice? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, because it's not about bad shit happening to you, because a lot of bad shit happened to me, and I grew stronger from that. I don't understand. It's just like, it's like here's a good example. I'd invite you to my little raft base here. I'd be like, hey, hello, Arc player, join. Anything you want's yours. Except, you know, maybe this gold armor right here. You can have the Ascendant stuff. Any of the cool stuff. I just painted this and I like it, so if you could just leave that for me. And they're like, okay, and they just come down here and they put C4 on the boat and blow it up. And I'm like, okay, and they just destroy. They come down here and they put C4 on the boat and blow it up. And I'm like, okay, and they just destroy. They come down here and they put C4 on the boat and blow it up. And I'm like, okay, and they just destroy. They come down here and they put C4 on the boat and blow it up. And I'm like, okay, and they just destroy. They come down here and they put C4 on the boat and blow it up. And I'm like, okay, and they just destroy. They come down here and they put C4 on the boat and blow it up. And I'm like, okay, and they just destroy. They come down here and they put C4 on the boat and blow it up. And I'm like, okay, and they just destroy. They come down here and they put C4 on the boat and blow it up. And I'm like, okay, and they just destroy. They come down here and they put C4 on the boat and blow it up. And I'm like, okay, and they just destroy. They come down here and they put C4 on the boat and blow it up. And I'm like, okay, and they just destroy. They come down here and they p Like, that's how the life has treated me. And it's I'll never be rude again to people, but I'm definitely about to start pulling out that metaphorical shotgun and start ending some of these problems before they become stress in my life. I say metaphorical because that means like metaphorically ending the threat. Okay, the sun's up now. Come on. I'm gonna play this game for another 3 hours and still not find that damn Basilosaurus. This has just been a little rant though about not scary at all in the dark. It's been a rant about why can't we just be nice? Why can't everybody treat each other with respect, even if you disagree? I don't understand. And the bigger... Oh, fuck yeah. Found one. Damn it. Not even excited. Level 16. Are you fucking playing with me? I instinctively almost turned the game off. I found one. Okay. And it's level 16. So, God, I guess we'll get him and level him up and see how much health he has. Maybe he'll work. Well, I did find one, so that's good. You'll have a good night. I gotta tame him now. I just wanted to talk about that because it's something I've been dealing with in like a very, very big way. It's been affecting my sleep. It's been affecting the way everything that I do lately. So it's like, what's the point? I'm gonna be alone forever, anyways. Like, it's gonna be me doing stuff for people, and then them taking it, and me having to learn basically that that's okay. It's okay that people are gonna take everything that I do and just run with it, and be happy that, you know, maybe or essentially that I have enough to be taken. God made me strong enough so that people can take from me, and I don't know. There's a lot of thought to it. There's so much thought to it, and so much to, oh, it's an alpha. So much to consider, and, you know, like what things are really worth it versus what things are not at all. And deciding what I want my life to look like going forward. Like what kind of stuff that I've maybe neglected because of trying to do stuff for too many other people. You know, I don't know. I know fitness is coming next, that's the whole reason I initially got into YouTube, is because I have a tremendous fitness background. And I know so much that I've always felt like I could maybe not teach people, but I can definitely train and help. And I can definitely spot bullshit, especially on YouTube, because I've been and seen everything. I've trained every system of training there is, except for Krav Maga, because I don't think that's a legit form of martial arts. And I wanted to combat some of the bullshit that exists on the internet, because there's so much BS. Let's see how fast I kill this alpha. Level 40 in about 5 seconds. Not bad. So if you're gonna do if you want to do anything in Ark and you want it to be underwater, this is probably the best group that you can tame or breed. I've bred them. Okay. That's cool. I'll just float in the air. And you put your shoes on, and then make sure nothing can eat you, and you can swim up and you can feed this guy. And you just wait. And this is the process, but I'm gonna let y'all go now. You don't want to see the boring feeding of a whale. That's ultimately too low level to accomplish anything with. So I'll have to look around. I'll go try to find a few more. But if you guys are going through some depressive stuff like that in the comments and you want me to know about it, leave me a comment. You just tell me what you're going through. Maybe I can pray for you, or maybe we can hang out and talk about it or something in a game like this. But yeah. You guys have a wonderful day. Start this painful process here of taming a Basilosaurus. I think I'm pretty sure that I only found one because I actually did a video on it. But you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.